two people here. Why are they here? Why are they here? And it doesn't take a genius to figure out who we're talking about because it's right there in the thumbnail. Evan Neal and Jalin Hyatt combining for total combined 0 snaps this year. Evan Neal wasn't even active on the game roster the first 2 games. Why did we keep these guys? Like, there was reports all over. And again, there's always reports, and some of them are BS. But there was reports everywhere that point blank teams were calling us up to trade for these guys. And don't be wrong, I don't think anybody's like, I'll give you a first round pick for Jalin Hyatt. Like, I'm not stupid. But if you're not going to put these guys in the field, take the goddamn pick, even if it's the 7th round.
I was about to say, you're not going to 3rd round for Hyatt, but he's mad if he could figure out like a.
Listen, I would be so ecstatic if somebody offers a 3rd round for Jalin Hyatt. First off, sign me up right now.
Just take it.
You want Evan Neal thrown in too for that 3rd round pick? Like, I'll do both. Like, I just think that, it's to the point where you either have some faith in putting these people on the goddamn field or you don't. And if you don't, why do you have them? Like, what is the point of keeping these guys? Guys that other teams have some, I don't want to say value in, but like they have some curiosity in. And are you doing any kind of like service whatsoever to those 2 players on top of that? This is one thing we've talked about multiple times, that teams around the NFL and players around the NFL watch what other teams do. And this is a scenario where the Giants say, you know what? It hasn't worked out here. We don't want to stifle you guys, potentially latching onto somebody else and maybe it working out there. So I get the optics of saying, hey, we're throwing away more draft picks. Like, I get that. But I have no problem with moving on when you realize they weren't the right picks. Now, I will question why you're moving on from so many goddamn picks eventually, because that's just where we're at. But I'm already doing it with these guys in the field.
I was about to say, what's worse? To continue to question why we are trying to trot around a 3rd round draft pick who was a healthy and active yesterday, when we could have got something for him.
The 3rd round was active and healthy. Just didn't get thrown in the game. The 1st round pick was not on the roster. He literally showed up in his blinged out 73 necklace, which is just sad. I'm sorry. Like, you're not even on the active game day roster. Let's not attract attention with bling here.
Yeah.
Go flip your damn burgers.
Yeah.
Where I'm at. Like, why are you keeping these people on the goddamn roster? It makes no sense whatsoever. Move on. And this is the biggest issue the Giants have in general. They don't move on when it's so obvious they should. It's not even funny. Looking at you, Brian Dable.
Joe Shane. Don Mara. Like,
all you. Well, we can't move on from the owner. He's not going to fire himself.
No. But when you should move on. So you're talking about, like, all right, we know Evan Neal has to move on. Well,
yeah,
we can see it as fans. The coaches see it. So looking at you, Brian Dable, like, listen, Joe Shane, you're the GM. You should see what's going on the field.
Yeah.
Shame on you. And listen, John, man, you should see the continuity of us sucking. Move on from him.
Yeah. Like, it's just like, so many players that we just hold on to forever. Just move on. Say this isn't working. And these are 2 of the biggest examples. And again, this is sad that I'm about to say what I'm about to say. I feel bad for the players. As a Giant fan, even, I feel bad for the players. Imagine being Evan Neal. You're trying out a brand new position with a team that point blank has jacked up your injuries the entire time you've been here. Because we got to include that whenever we talk about Evan Neal. Like, as much as we joke around about the burger thing, because that was just disrespectful to say about the fans, but the Giants jacked up his injury, had him go back out there and re-injured it even worse and made it to where he was out forever. And then you go ahead and you move to a new position. He's having trouble with it, and you just don't even put him on the active roster while you're paying him $5 million to sit on the bench. Just admit your mistake and move on. Let him go elsewhere to a team that actually wants to work with him. Because let's be honest here, guys. It's the last year of his rookie deal, Evan Neal. We all know what's going down. He's not going to be a Giant next year. Why not let the man restart his career elsewhere now? And do right by him, even if he said crap about fans and stuff like that. I'm telling you right now, do not think for a minute that players don't see this kind of stuff. We talked before about overpaying for John Runyon. You want to know why we overpay for players? It's this kind of crap.
100%.
Because nobody wants to come here because this is the crap we do. This is the crap we do. And we have people getting ACL tears left and right, messing up their knees, but the owners won't pay the freaking money for a goddamn grass field, which will cost them less than we're paying Evan Neal.
Pretty much.
Like, let's just be honest about what's going on. Shit's got to change. And it's top to bottom. Point blank. I'm just saying, like, that's where it's at there. I mean, and Hyatt, the same thing. If you're not going to put him on the field, put somebody else out there. Let's try somebody else out there that maybe needs a shot. Because if you're not going to give this kid a shot and put somebody out there you would give a shot to. I mean, hell, you picked up our third kick punt returner off waivers.
He's going to get a shot before Hyatt.
3 players who cannot play wide receiver and just kick off return and punt return. Like, absolute goddamn insanity. This is why I get so pissed off lately now. Because it's so obvious, the issues. So goddamn obvious, not even funny. Stevie Wonder can see the issues.
Hell yeah, and he's dead.
He ain't wondering. Oh, Stevie Wonder's alive. Ray Charles is dead.
Oh, sorry, wrong blonde guy.
Oh, bye. We're getting canceled. Whoopsies.
You didn't see that one coming.
As Mac the Giants fans make no sense why they are still on the team. Yeah, I don't get it. Jay says, he says, Jay, I think the secrets are because we talk trash about Russ. No, not listen. And he says, yep, that crow is tasting nasty. How was that crow yesterday when he threw 450 yards? Just saying. Yeah. Mac the Giants fan, Evan Neal may not be good, but given the state of the O-line, he shouldn't be a healthy scratch. If you really think, and I'm not disagreeing with this theory, by the way, I actually agree with the Giants in this part. But if you think Aaron Stinney is better than Evan Neal, then Evan Neal shouldn't be on this team. Like, honestly, if you think Aaron Stinney is a better player than Evan Neal, you should have moved on a while ago.
Without a doubt.
Jay says it's obvious an optics thing. They don't want egg on their face by admitting their picks suck. They're admitting it already by doing that. When you refuse to put a player on the field, when you refuse to go ahead and put him on the active roster for game day, you're already admitting he sucks.
Yeah, it's either that or you're trying to discipline him. And you're not disciplining someone in year 4.
But what are you disciplining him for? They didn't even do anything wrong in this case. They haven't been on the field enough to do anything wrong.
Well, when you're stuck in a position, like, you discipline the player to, like, play better or practice harder, whatever it is.
I mean, at this point, all they're doing is making excuses for James Hudson. Oh, the guy slipped and he slapped him in the head. Like, yeah, okay, he slipped, but you're professional. Like, that's not what you do. Like, you can see that in real time. You know that.
Yeah,
you know?
Listen.
You slapped him across the head because you're pissed off. You looked bad the play before. Let's make excuses for him. After he made a fool of you on the sideline, Dable. Point blank, he made a fool of Dable. Like, that to me is the same level of embarrassment. And listen, I say this with all due respect to Coughlin. That's the same level of embarrassment as Coughlin must have had during the whole Josh Norman OBJ thing. Because it shows a lack of control of the team. Point blank. Absolutely does. If they respected you, they wouldn't do that. And let me be very clear that I don't think Coughlin lost the team. He lost OBJ because OBJ just thought he was better than everybody. But Hudson he doesn't have the talent to warrant that kind of attitude. The fact that he's still a Giant today is insanity to me. Jay says any good business or a company does this, they admit the mistake and move on, not waste time. Yes, any good business does this. Any good.
Keyword.
Jay says they did this with Shane Lemieux, no shame, Zimenez, etc. Yeah, so many bad ones. Bookend tackles, it's a wasted spot. You could have a better special teams player active. Yeah, we have enough of those. Let's get some more returners. What the hell? I mean, even Montreal Washington over Hyatt. I would have rather see him. Or a special team, like I said, Dalen Cambry would have been a guy I would have loved to see on special teams specifically. That kid's a special team ace. Anthony says, I have so much more respect if they just cut ties and admitted they weren't good enough. Yes, me too. Jay says, that's what Howie Roseman would do. I hate to say it, but you're right. It's sad when I'm saying point blank the Eagles are doing better than the Giants like that. But you're not wrong. Howie Roseman would have. Now, he also would have backloaded the contract and still be paying him 10 years later, but that's a whole separate topic.
Yeah, it's besides the point.
Jay says, the burger flipper comment cut Mac deep. Boy, I tell you, I'm sure it does. Mac, the Giants fans in here, I still see too as well. He's probably still crying thinking about it. Anthony says he's going to be flipping burgers while Hyatt makes the fries. Damn straight. Back to Giants fans. It did, Jay. I made a video about it that day. I was pissed. This is not cool at all. Anthony says, if Hyatt has all the speed, why are we not trying to have him run back kicks and get something for our money? Because he weighs 120 pounds soaking wet.
He's a wet noodle.
And the speed is all he has. He has no actual moves. Like, he's a guy who's a track and field star. That's what he is. Like, if you want to run a straight line, he will run it faster than everybody else. You want to actually make moves and run routes, he can't do that. It's not what he's able to do. Bookend tackles, hire Tom C to rebuild the team, let him select next coach GM, lock Mayor and family out of the meetings. We actually literally said that just yesterday after the game. If he would take it, which I don't think he would, quite frankly, because of the way Merritt, did him dirty like that. Anthony says, keeping secrets, making fun of blind people. Shake my head. We didn't make fun of him. We actually gave him a lot of credit, saying even Stevie Wonder could have seen this coming. See, we're giving him credit that he's able to see things better than Brian Dable. Bookend tackles. If we're getting rid of the coach again, Merritt needs to completely stay out of the decision making. Yes, 100%. And I said I wish I can give you more names off the top of my head of who would be the guy. I just don't know who else at this point. I mean, if you told me 10 years ago, I would say maybe bring back Orny Accorsi and let him do it. But he's 83 years old. I'd look it up, see how old he is. I doubt he wants to do that. Even older than Tom Coughlin. But honestly, you want to bring both those guys back, I'm all for it. Let them decide together this stuff. People forget we won that those Super Bowls point blank with the Corsi's people. And I'm not just talking Eli. Jay says, how did me and AC get into this goofball circle of trusting? You're in the circle of trust. It's the circle of
trust.
I just don't want to be all negative, Jay. I don't want to be that person. Jay says, Baker balling right now. Love that guy. Yeah, I what's the score at now? Let's see, 19-14. Yeah, I will. That's not really balling. The game's just about over here, and the Texans are going to win. It looks like so. I don't look at the stats. Yeah, 25-38, 215, 2 touchdowns. Not too bad. Bookend tackle says, well, that one play Hudson was going for the shoulder and the guy fell into it, but the other penalties were ridiculous. But like I said, I still stand by what I said. The guy was slipping. I get it. We can watch it in slow-mo and say things like that, but people adjust all the time. All the time. So why can't he? I honestly think it's because of the play before. I really just do. And, I'm not in his head. I can't say that for a fact. Just what I think. Anthony says, oh, God, Drew, that singing and dancing gives me flashbacks. Listen, I actually can sing. I'm just not going to do it here on the show. Not going to happen. There's not a single amount of you get me drunk at a karaoke, though. Things will happen. Saying. It went Friday night even.
Jason, what's the nearest karaoke to you?
What was that?
So where's the nearest karaoke to you?
I couldn't hear the first half of that.
So where's the nearest karaoke by you?
Where's the nearest karaoke? Literally, the bar I went to watch the Giants game is actually doing karaoke while the Giants were playing.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it is what it is. Book and Tackle says Tampa Bay just scored with 6 seconds left. Yes, they did. Bucks are up 2019 now. Ooh. Anthony says, "Oh, that's why, Jay. We made fun of Drew's dancing. That's why we're not in the circle. That's damn straight. That's why. That's why you're not in the circle. Enjoy being out in the circle." And
Well
Jason,
deserved.
you're trying to do a legal stream on the Giants game and then live stream it. No, I was watching on an app that I have the game, and then the app didn't want to work, so I had to move. There was actually, I found out later on, all kinds of internet issues and stuff in my area. 'Cause even the bar I went to lost internet for a while, but then I was able to do it off mobile there and stuff. It's crazy day, crazy day. Anyway,
Thanks for watching. Like the show? Of course you do, or you would have turned it off by now and not be hearing me. There are plenty of ways to support the show. YouTube is the best place to join us, and we offer memberships there with fun benefits like custom emojis and early access to video clips. Of course, there you can also send super chats and stickers to send one-time support payments. The best way to support the show is to buy these drunk idiots beers at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Along with one-time support payments, there are also monthly plans, so you can continue to help kill their livers each month. You can also show people that you are a goofball by visiting our store at 2giantgoofballs-shop.fourthwall.com. We got everything from shirts, hats, phone cases, funny candles, buttons, stickers, and even a 2 Giant Goofballs towel to dry off your goofballs. Of course, you can always support the show for free by simply hitting the like, subscribe, and share button wherever you are watching or listening to this. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It helps the show tremendously, and quite frankly, the goofballs suck at marketing and need your help to get the word out. Thank you for being part of the Goofball Army and for taking the time out to support the show.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.